Gahan will get the majority of the carries, but we'll also see Jeremiah Acker. He wears number 2. He's another senior, 5'11", 210 pounds, 63 carries for 357 yards and a touchdown. He averages 5.6 yards a carry. The fullback for the Trojans is number 20, Joe Ianni. He is a 5'9", 210-pound senior, 267 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. He's also caught 11 passes for 153 yards and a touchdown. That's the starting lineup offensively for the Trojans. They score at 29.2 points per game under Greg Dolan in his 6th season as head coach. They come into this semifinal game with a 7-4 record, coming off an easy win over Piston area, 48-15 in the quarterfinals last Friday night. For the Bulldogs, offensively, the tight end will be Joe Norris. He wears number 11. He is 6'3", 185 pounds, a senior. 9 receptions on the season for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. The left tackle, number 72, Ben Peck, 6'3", 251, a junior. The left guard is number 73, Tom Monaco, 6'3", 284-pound senior. He was hurt in the quarterfinals. In fact, spent the second half on crutches on the sideline, but he is back. We won't see him much, if at all, on defense, but he will start at that left guard position where he is very, very valuable to the Bulldogs, particularly in their running attack. The starting center is number 79, Noah Craig. He's a 6', 246-pound sophomore. Mike Zalutko, a fellow sophomore, starts at right guard. He wears number 71. He is 6'1", 264 pounds. The right tackle is number 70, Chase Struther, 6'3", 294 pounds, a senior. At the wide receiver positions for the Bulldogs, Damon Beckhorn, their leading receiver, 35 catches for 486 yards and 6 touchdowns. They'll also use him carrying the football, whether it be jet sweeps or whether a situation comes about like we saw last week where he lined up in a wing, took the inside handoff, and raced 26 yards for a touchdown. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging 6.8 yards a carry on 25 attempts. A 6', 181-pound senior, Damon Beckhorn. Second leading receiver for this team is number 13, Jared Watts. He is a 5'10", 167-pound senior, 24 receptions on the season for 344 yards and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback is number 9, Jared Marshman, 6'1", 221 pounds, a senior. Missed most of this season with injury, but has played 5 games now, 5 consecutive games, and completed 59.1% of his passes for 753 yards, and very, very impressive. 12 touchdowns, just 1 interception. And that 1 interception came on a ball that probably should have been caught last week in that quarterfinal game against Wyoming area. So Marshman has come back, and as this season progresses, the Bulldogs, because of his injury, were reluctant to have him run the football where he was very effective a year ago. As that season goes, they're starting to call his number in some running plays. The leading rusher for Berwick is number 8, Evan Klinger. He's a 5'10", 175-pound senior, 798 yards rushing on the season. He is 8th in the Wyoming Valley Conference, 7 rushing touchdowns. And eventually, as the night progresses, Owen Shoemaker will come in to replace Klinger and Shoemaker. Number 39, a 5'9", 191-pound junior. He has been very, very effective as well. 654 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. The fullback with the Bulldogs used one, number 44, Joey Lynn, 5'11", 216, a junior. 16 carries for 87 yards and the touchdown. That's the starting lineup. Offensively for the Bulldogs, who averaged 30.9 points a game under Frank Sheptock in his 2nd season as head coach. They are the number 1 seed in this tournament. They are 9-2 coming into this semifinal game tonight. So it's the Bulldogs against the Trojans. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, Berwick has to be ready for a physical game, Jim, and I think that's where the keys are going to lie. And sometimes it's tough being as physical as you'd like with the mental problems you have in cold weather. You just don't want to hit as much. You don't want those hands to get smashed, and yet, you know, the team that overcomes that and plays more physically should be able to win. Berwick defensively has to stop the run. This team runs. They only threw 3 passes last year in their victory, 270-some rushing yards. None of the passes were completed. So they understand what this team likes to do, their run-first philosophy, and they have the personnel to do it. A huge offensive line. We've mentioned the front five averages 270 pounds a man. They come off the ball well. They're well drilled. They have good technique. They'll get good and low. So while the defense is going to have to overcome some of the size with good technique, well, the offense has good technique as well. So Frank Sheptock defensively may have to play a few games, move a few people, twist some tackles, stunt some linebackers to overcome what could be a superior type of offensive line. And behind that offensive line, just tough running backs. These guys are good. J.C. Gaughan, over 1,000 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns. Very physical presence, and when they spell him, it's Jeremiah Acker. As physical, really comes at you. And then Joe Ianni at fullback, whether he's blocking from the fullback or carrying, he has 267 yards. These guys run, and they run hard. It's that downhill mentality. They're not so much into, making the cuts and juking you out and head faking you. They just as soon run through you. So if Berwick can't get square in the hole with the man, if they're reaching, if they're lunging, these guys will run through arm tackles. They'll break grabs on the jersey, especially in this cold weather. So Berwick's going to have to play good fundamentally, very sound in their positional game to make sure they're able to square up the holes to stop these very tough running backs. Berwick has played great defense this year. You've gone through their numbers, best in the conference, and just about all of the categories. Points allowed, number one. Rush defense, number one. Total defense, number one. But have they seen a running game like this one? We'll see when the game gets going. Flip it over when Berwick has the ball. I think what they have to do is somehow be able to control the defensive ends. We've heard how strong they are, and it's the same as the two running backs that alternate. It's J.C. Gaughan, and it's Jeremiah Acker. These are tough, athletic kids, almost mirror images in size. Gaughan has an inch or so at 6'1", 200. Acker has 10 more pounds at 5'11", 210. And they're able to play things inside from their four-man line from a defensive end spot. Sometimes they're down in that three-point stance. Other times they'll stand them up like a linebacker there, and they're good on the outside as well. So if Berwick wants to establish its running game, they're going to have to find a way of getting inside these defensive ends or outside them. And these guys just are top-notch defenders that make everyone else around them very, very good. And, of course, once you get into where you're starting to see the top-notch competition, a game that could be a coin toss as to who's going to win or who's going to lose, you have to take care of all the business. You have to avoid the penalties. You have to avoid the turnovers, avoid any other type of miscues or mental mistakes. Teams are coming on the field, Jim, and there's a lot of excitement on those teams on the sidelines.
Bulldogs on the near side wearing their blue jerseys with the white helmets, white numerals, white pants, and trim, and across the way, the red and black Trojans of Pocono, North Pocono, the white jerseys, black helmets, red numerals, red pants, and trim. The officiating crew for tonight's game, the referee is Jay Rowan. The umpire, Joe Tomaselli. The linesman is Al Williams. The line judge, Matt Murphy. Frank Galicki is the side judge. The field judge is Jason McDermott. And the back judge is Gary Davis.
Seven-man crew. We also have people up on the clock and on the sidelines, down with the chains. District always makes sure they have full complement of the officials to provide great objectivity and all the eyes that they need for these big-time games.
Captain's about to meet at the center of the field for Berwick. It's Damon Beckhorn and Jared Marshman and Alex Parks and a player with a coat on. And he mentioned how the players were doing so well adjusting to this cold, but actually when the captains met out preliminarily, there were two Bulldogs with coats on as they meet with the officiating crew. Of course, we always go through the offense and defense and how they match up before the game, but it bears repeating. Berwick always wins the special teams battle. I mean, always. This is their 12th game. They have not lost that yet. But we do understand that North Pocono has a good kick return game with J.C. Gahan, and we'll see how Berwick deals with that, because the Bulldogs won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they'll be kicking off to North Pocono when we return. The Bulldogs against the Trojans. Back with the kickoff. You're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They're more than a bank. They're your neighbors. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Berlin's Greenhouses expresses their sincere thanks to all their loyal customers for their patronage during the fall season and throughout the year. They look forward to serving you again next spring. Gift certificates make great gift ideas for the coming holidays, and you can purchase them from Berlin's Greenhouses, as well as wreaths and grave blankets. They will be available during the week and by appointment by calling 752-4255. Berlin's Greenhouses, 6081 Park Road in Berwick. Wish the Berwick Bulldogs well during the playoffs.
Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Just about set to go here from Crispin Field in this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Winner of this game to take on the winner of Coughlin at Valley View being played tonight. Coughlin pulled off what probably is considered the biggest upset of this tournament so far. They had been struggling down the stretch. They went to Dallas, a team that beat them 54-7 to start the season, and they turned the tide and won it 28-0 last week. So Coughlin at Valley View. Valley View an easy winner over Crestwood. In fact, there were 3 blowouts. And then that Coughlin surprise win. Berwick, as I mentioned, won the toss, deferred to the second half. They will be kicking off. What win we have will be at their back. And North Pocono will be moving from our right to a left. They have a dangerous deep man in J.C. Gahan. Berwick does have Ken Marshman, who's capable of reaching the end zone. In fact, he has 21 touchbacks on the season. It'll be interesting. Obviously, if he could reach the end zone, that's no problem. But it is a problem if he comes up a bit short and Gahan gets his hands on it.
In cold weather like this, you're basically kicking a rock. I don't think you're going to see the touchbacks you'd have. He has a little bit of a wind advantage, but it's also blowing across the field, more so that way than helping him. And right now, the flag just went limp. He's kicking closer to the middle of the field rather than the extreme hash. We'll see how he plays it.
And this District 2 Quad A semifinal is underway as the kick very, very high, and Gaughan will get a chance from the 8-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, the 30, and cut down just over the 30-yard line. Good
nice
return by J.C. Gaughan.
Yeah, Blaine Cleaver coming down the middle. Big freshman takes it into his hands to get low and trip up that very dangerous return man. We'll be seeing him at running back, paired with Jeremiah Acker, spelling him, both behind Joe Ianni, and all of them behind a line that averages 270 pounds of men. That's a formula for a running team, and that's what this team likes to do.
So North Pocono will put in play. They're going to mark the ball down, if they eventually do, for our advantage. At the 31-yard line, I believe, is the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for North Pocono. J.C. Gaughan is the lone running back. Blaine under center gives to the right side, and the gain is to about the 31, and that's about it. Back to the line of scrimmage as Berwick defensively lines up with Eric Montez and Mason Lawbaugh at the ends, Ben Peck and J.J. Snyder at the tackles, Joey Lynn and Noah Craig at the linebacker spots. Secondary, Alex Parks, Damon Beckhorn, Ryan Lawbaugh, Tegan Wilk, and Evan Klinger.
2 or 3 fakes in the backfield. Quarterback kept it, kept dropping on back, then threw a screen off to the right to Gaughan. But Ryan Lawbaugh saw him sneaking out, drops him for a 1-yard loss.
Lawbaugh's had a terrific season from that cornerback position. This is a straight run to Gaughan, and straight up the gut. He'll get about 2, and that's all, as he has gang tackled. Berwick number 1 in the Wyoming Valley Conference against the run, and they got there that time.
Tegan Wilk came on up. Joe Lynn also at the point of attack. And then 3 or 4 more of the dark blue jerseys joining on in. So the incomplete pass, and now just a 2-yard run or so. It's going to set up a passing situation for a team that doesn't like to pass that much. But don't be misled. Donnie Blaine can be successful through the air.
Blaine is out of the gun. He's back to throw. Gets the pass away, completes it, and brought down right at the 35-yard line is Gaughan, as Alex Parks makes a nice tackle in the open field.
He did. He had Dale Moore. He saw the pattern. They threw it quickly, different down and distance. He might have tried to jump that route and take it away, but he realized play it safely, make the short tackle. He lined up Dale Moore and brought him down after just 2 yards.
Donnie Blaine is back to do the punting. Robert Van Brunt, a sophomore, does the long snapping. And Evan Klinger and Tegan Wilk deep for Berwick. Line drive kick. And Wilk will field on a hop at the 33-yard line to the 40 and spins out to the 42-yard line. That's where Berwick will put it in play for their first possession with 10:25 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Gabe Gribble spun him down to the ground, and then a linebacker type nailed him after that. Shows confidence in his hands to pick up that cold rolling ball. But, of course, he wears the gloves and feels confident in that.
One thing that Berwick does not lead the Wyoming Valley Conference in is fair catches. They go after punts.
Oh, they do.
They like to return them. North Pocono across the front. We mentioned this earlier. J.C. Gaughan and Jeremiah Acker, their running backs, are the defensive ends. Matt Caputo and Dustin Moss are the tackles. Will set the rest of that defense after this play from Berwick as Evan Klinger gets the call. Gets over the 45 to the 49, almost lost the ball in the process. Inside linebackers in his front four, Joe Ianni and Brett Butler. Outside, Jacob Owens and Tyler Matichka. The corners are Joey Burke and Dan Walsh, and the safety is Danny Blaine.
Little up-tempo.
2nd down and 3 call as Klinger runs for the first down over midfield into North Pocono territory at the 46-yard line.
Right now, Berwick is avoiding those dangerous down defensive ends, the 4-man front, by running right over the center, hitting those gaps, the A-gaps each side of him, and they got 11 yards on the 2 carries combined.
Marshman out of the gun. Klinger to his right. In motion comes Beckhorn. Klinger gets the call off the left side. Evan Klinger running hard, gets to the 40-yard line. 6 yards and a first down carry, and Berwick has the running game going early.
Yes, they do. Mostly inside. That time a little bit wider off the left, but good blocking opens the seam for at least a 6-yard gain.
Tegan Wilk wide right. There's a slot to the left. Beckhorn in the slot, Parks outside of him. 2nd down call. Marshman out of the gun. hands the ball off the right side. The gain to about the 36-yard line as Joe Ianni comes up and makes the play on Evan Klinger. Klinger got another Berwick first down.
He was able to get wide of those defensive ends after all the inside running. The defensive ends decided to pinch a little bit. The one here on the left got bent inside, and Joe Ianni, the linebacker, had to come wide. But till that point, Evan Klinger has the yardage.
At the North Pocono 36, back to throw as Marshman sets up the rocket screen to Beckhorn. He cuts it outside the 30, and Boyd's a tackler is very close to the first down yardage. So Marshman with a quick hitter to Damon Beckhorn. Beckhorn very, very dangerous in the open field. He'll pick up 9 on the play to the 27, 2nd and 1.
Nice, easy completion, sideways throw. You can zip it on out there. Beckhorn's going to make that catch. Wind's not going to affect it. Use his running ability. It's a very short one. I'd be surprised if they just power ahead here.
Marshman. Hands off the right side. Good gain to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. So Berwick moving the chains on the ground. Damon Beckhorn that time lined up in the backfield as a running back. And they mark it at the 17. It's a pickup of 10. 1st and 10. Berwick has a real rhythm going as they come quickly to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice knifing action from left to right.
Marshman gives the ball to Klinger. Breaks a tackle and carries a tackler to the 9-yard line. Running hard as Evan Klinger picks up 8, 2nd down and 2.
When you play a very physical team, you want to prove that you're as physical. And right now, Berwick has strapped it on. They're going right at this team with runs, just the one pass to the outside to mix things up a little bit, and they're dominating the line of scrimmage.
From the 8-yard line. A fake to Klinger, keeping the ball is Marshman. Marshman up the middle. Marshman down to the 1-yard line.
He's a load. You get that zone read look. The attention goes to the running back. But the design of the play is to open up the A gap to the right side of the center. Marshman goes up there, and he's a physical load to bring down.
1st and goal, Berwick at the 1-yard line. Marshman still in the shotgun as we have a stoppage of play and a timeout called by North Pocono. 8:14 to go in the first quarter. No score. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
8:14 to go in a scoreless first quarter, but Berwick following the North Pocono timeout. 1 yard away from taking the lead. 1st and goal, Bulldogs at the 1-yard line of North Pocono.
A little bit surprised by the timeout. Berwick seems like they're going to score. Might have just wasted that one.
Marshman gives the ball to Klinger. Evan Klinger off the right side. Looks like he's in, and now they indicate that he is. Touchdown, Evan Klinger, and Berwick has the early lead.
The umpire looked and saw him lying in the end zone, but said it's not my call. Deferred to the line judge, who then got his hands raised a little later. But a power run. So the timeout to kind of psych up the team, toughen them up, get them to focus, doesn't really do any good, as Evan Klinger scores immediately afterwards.
First possession for Berwick results in a Bulldog touchdown. And now Ken Marshman, 40 for 41 and extra points, will attempt it. His kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field, 8:09 to go first quarter. Berwick 7, North Pocono nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Congratulations to the Berwick Bulldogs from Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. And listen to this. Murad is back at the Ford store. You've dealt with him in the past, and now he's back with great deals on the complete line of Ford cars and trucks, like the Focus, Edge, or Escape. to the Expedition. And don't forget the F-150 trucks at Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. Go Bulldogs!
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
First possession for the Bulldogs of Berwick, a 9-play, 58-yard scoring drive, 8 running plays, 1 pass. Evan Klinger in for the touchdown, and Berwick leads at 7-0, 8:09 to go in this opening quarter. Ken Marshman will kick it off, and J.C. Gaughan hoping for an opportunity at a return.
A little bit more wind, but again, crossing the field as well as aiding him.
Low line drive kick. Gaughan will take it on the high hop back at the 3-yard line. On the far sideline, he gets over the 20, and that's about it. Maybe the 22 or 23-yard line on the return by Gaughan.
Helmet to helmet with Ryan Lawbaugh, but 2 other people surrounding, but the initial hit by Lawbaugh takes him out of bounds. So by letting that bounce and eventually getting to Gaughan, Berwick has outstanding field position, as good as a touchback would have been, Jim, right there on the 20.
1st and 10 for the Trojans. Their second possession of the game. Gaughan deep in the backfield. Ianni, the blocking back to the left. Donnie Blaine under center with a wide receiver either side from the 20. Gaughan gets the call. Looks for some room off the right side. There's nothing there. Keeps those legs churning, but that'll get him just about a yard.
Ben Peck blew up the play. He exploded from left defensive tackle straight on into the backfield. They had to try to bounce around him after a little bit of a collision with the lineman who couldn't hold him in place. And by the time he got around things and fought, it was just a yard or so.
2nd down and 8. They mark it at the 22-yard line. North Pocono trailing 7-0, 7.5 minutes to go, opening quarter. Gaughan now is in a slot to the left side, and the snap goes off of Blaine. The ball is loose. And Berwick indicates they have it, and they do.
They do. It's going to be picked up by number 42. So that would be Eric Montez. Another man had a clean dive, almost picked it out of the air and ran with it. I missed his number in following the ball, but then Eric Montez diving and had to fight a little bit to make sure no one was getting it, including 2 other of his Berwick teammates on each side of him. So an unforced mistake with the bad snap. And then opportunistic defense by Berwick as it bounces, almost picked up in the air. They'll take that ball off the ground with this field position.
Owen Shoemaker is the running back for the Bulldogs. Joey Lynn is a blocking back to the right side from the 18-yard line. There's a handoff to Beckhorn. That inside handoff, he tries to sweep the left side, gets what he can, and that's to about the 14-yard line. That was a play that worked for a touchdown last week in the quarterfinal win over Wyoming area. This time it picks up about 4, 2nd down and 6 from the 14-yard line.
And in the red zone on a 1st down, that long 4 yards is significant. Good running play.
Evan Klinger back in there. He's to the right of Marshman. Marshman takes the snap and goes straight ahead on a carry of his own. He'll pick up a couple to about the 12-yard line. 3rd down coming.
4 plus the 2 or 3 there. It'll set up the 3rd and a long 3 or so. Berwick, of course, in field position now on the left hash, has to decide what to do here.
3rd down and 3 call as Marshman fires to Beckhorn across the way, and he's got the 1st down inside the 10-yard line, down around the 8.
Simple little toss to the side. They're still playing way off him, even here in the red zone. So Marshman seeing that, whether it was the huddle call or whether he just decides, hey, let's just audible this and get it out to him, he's easily going to get the chains, and he does. 1st and goal, Berwick at the 8-yard line of North Pocono. Klinger to the right of Marshman. Marshman fakes to Klinger, keeps the football, and they're all over the play are those Trojans. And Jared Marshman will get to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half-yard gain off the right side. Yeah, they got him very low, too, near where it might hurt. Brett Butler coming up from the backside linebacker, seeing that type of a quarterback counter play, able to get in on low on Marshman.
2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. And Frank Sheptalk wants a timeout. His quarterback is hurting. And he indicated that to the sideline. We'll take a timeout. 5:46 to go in the quarter. 7-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 118 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, every step of the way.
Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big-time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
This is a District 2 Quad A semifinal game from Crespin Field. 5:46 to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Berwick has the lead. And they will have a second and goal at the North Pocono 6 following this timeout. But the timeout was because quarterback Jared Marshman was in pain. He seemed to be favoring his left wrist as he came to the sideline. He is still in there, though, as they go to the second and goal. Owen Shoemaker is the running back behind him, and Marshman now will be under center.
He was shaking the left wrist, still holding it. He gets the handoff cleanly.
Toss sweep to Shoemaker. He's inside the 5, keeps those legs turning and gets it for the touchdown. Owen Shoemaker, a tough run from 6 yards out.
Yes, it was. Met with a collision in about the 3-yard stripe. Dan Walsh grabbed the hold. But Owen Shoemaker just would not stop the legs. Walsh had him high, and he just carried him almost a piggyback on into the end zone.
So Berwick builds the lead as they take advantage of the turnover. The fumble recovery by Eric Montez at the 18. And now Ken Marshman will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Evan Klinger. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 5:40 to go first quarter. Berwick 14. North Pocono nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
The compassionate funeral directors at the James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services provides individualized funeral services designed to meet the needs of your family. The staff of devoted professionals will assist you in making funeral service arrangements and guide you through this difficult time in your life. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Market Street, Berwick, wishing Bulldog players and families the best of luck during this season.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
When Berwick played North Pocono in last year's district final, the Bulldogs did not score a touchdown the entire game. They have 2 on the board and lead 14-0 with 5:40 still to go in this opening quarter of this semifinal game here at Crespin Field. Ken Marshman will kick it away. J.C. Gaughan deep for the Trojans. The kick very, very high. Gaughan will field at the 9-yard line, the far side of the field to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. Alex Parks wraps him up, but not before he gets out near the 35-yard line.
See the 17 of Malik McMillan. Nice tackle. I watched him running down the center of the field, keeping his lane, and then when he saw that Gaughan was going to commit to going up the hash, he broke from his lane, cut to the inside, and with the angle, took him down with a nice form tackle.
North Pocono still looking for their initial first down of this game. They have it at their own 35-yard line. Slot to the left side. Blaine under center. Gives to Acker. Gets the carry and maybe a yard on the play, but not much. Berwick defensively against the run. Very, very tough this opening quarter. Remember, talking about opening quarters, this Berwick defense has not given up a touchdown in the first quarter of any game this season. 2 field goals is all the opposition has gotten in 11-plus games now. So always off to a quick start. 2nd and 9. I formation. Slot to the left. Call goes straight ahead and a gain of maybe a yard on the play.
That was Acker coming up a little deeper this time, not in the setback position. J.J. Snyder in low from his defensive tackle. Angles a little bit toward the center, gets in, and he's at the bottom of the pile that caused the confusion.
3rd and 8. Jimmy LeGrand, who's good at getting after the quarterback, comes in at a defensive end position, replacing Mason Laub on this 3rd down and 8 for the Trojans at their own 37-yard line. Dan Walsh wide left. Dale Moore wide to the right. Blaine out of the gun, has the snap. Back to throw, has time, fires the pass, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the 41-yard line. So 4th down, another 3 and out for North Pocono.
Brett Butler was the target. He tried to sneak him out after getting the 2 widest receivers deep downfield. Thrown low, most receivers could have caught it. He's more known for his linebacking prowess, and he would have been tackled well short of the chains.
And Butler with 5 catches on the season coming in, 2 of them for touchdowns, as Donnie Blaine back to punt, standing back at his 21-yard line. Snap a little bit high, gets the kick away. Low line drive kick will be fielded on the hop at the 35-yard line by Evan Klinger to the 45, over midfield to the 45, and forced out of bounds across the way. Evan Klinger looked like the hop was headed toward Keegan Wilk, and Klinger kind of came in front of it, grabbed it, and made a nice return to Berwick in business with 4:06 to go in the quarter and leading 14-0.
Created an odd deception. I thought it was going to come here to the right as well, that the bounce would go longer. But he took it away mid-bounce and went to the left instead of to the right. Ended up with a nice wall of blockers, creating interference, and eventually Brett Butler pushing him out of bounds.
24 yards on the punt return by Evan Klinger. Berwick, 1st and 10 at the North Pocono 41-yard line. Marshman out of the gun with Klinger to his left. A high snap. Marshman's going to have to keep the football straight ahead, and he'll get just a yard to the 40-yard line.
Nice physical hit put on him by Joe Ianni. Yeah, Marshman was debating, should I try to still get this handoff? And I think he realized the man back there with him, Evan Klinger, was going to run ahead and block. So to minimize the loss, he plunged ahead and gained about half a yard.
2nd down and 9. Marshman has this snap. Fires to the sideline, has his man Alex Parks, breaks out of a tackle, gets to the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Whoa. What a great effort by Alex Parks. He carried 2 would-be tacklers inside the 30 for a Berwick 1st down.
Got his first 2 completions of the season last year, and you can see why they're going back to him. Caught it about 7, did an inside spin move to avoid a man, and then 2 tacklers trying to bring him down, just can't.
11 yards on the reception. Marshman off play action, throws over the middle, Beckhorn open to the 10, to the 5, and in for a touchdown. Jared Marshman, beautiful play action, hits David Beckhorn, 29 yards for the score.
Beckhorn was wide on the right, ends up near the hash mark on the same side of the field, somehow gets between the 3 deep zone, and made it just look too easy. Wide open, no one within 10 yards of him, and then his speed after the catch glides in with the score.
3 plays, 42 yards as Berwick builds the lead. Ken Marshman will attempt the extra point. Snap placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field, 3:18 to go first quarter. Berwick 21, North Pocono nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Custom-built LED signs, vehicle graphics, custom wraps, banners, screen printing, mugs, T-shirts, business signs, magnets, hats, embroidery, stand-ups, indoor signage, and custom car accents. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Family-owned and operated since the turn of the century. All work is produced in-shop. DeFevo does not sell products that they do not make, and that equals quality control. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel on Route 11 between Bloomsburg and Berwick at 7553 Columbia Boulevard or online at defevographics.com.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jared Marshman to Damon Beckhorn. 29 yards for the touchdown. Marshman now, since his return, 13 touchdown passes, 1 interception. 3:18 to go in this opening quarter. Berwick leads North Pocono 21-0.
4 completes and 4 attempts in this game.
Marshman's kick high and deep. It'll take one bounce and into the end zone for the touchback. So for Ken Marshman, his 22nd touchback of the season. And North Pocono takes over at their own 20-yard line. Still looking for a first down in this opening quarter, trailing now 21-0.
And Berwick doing a wonderful job defensively as well as offensively. Draw attention again to the defensive ends we've been seeing. Mason Lawball. Now it looks like they brought in Joe Norris for a little change-up.
21-0 is the Berwick lead as Donnie Blaine under center is back to throw, and he fires a quick out, and he has his man Dale Moore. No, he dropped it at the 26-yard line. Alex Parks on the coverage. Of course, the best thing for Berwick is that North Pocono goes out of their game and goes strictly to the air, because their most effective passing is when it's play action, when they have that running game going.
Yeah, and you're not having the effectiveness of the play action. In fact, Evan Klinger blitzing that time right in the face of quarterback Donnie Blaine. Ball that probably should have been caught, but the man was already down on a knee, would have only gotten a yard or so. But they still like to complete the play.
Acker to the right of Blaine, who gets the shotgun snap and gives the ball to Acker, and he has room off the left side and is tripped up as he gets to about the 27-yard line. Tegan Wilk on the stop for the Bulldogs, as Mike Zalutko was in that defensive front for that play. He comes out now. Also, Joe Norse has entered as a defensive end, as we have an injured player on the field for North Pocono. So we'll have an injury timeout. Acker with 2:54 remaining this opening quarter. Yeah, the Bulldogs have it all going in this quarter. Andy, while we have a moment, just the one observation from this season with the Bulldogs in this hurry-up offense, you know, they seldom make mistakes. That's the thing that's very, very impressive. They're getting those plays from the sideline. You don't see confusion. People are where they need to be, and they keep up that tempo. And that's not easy for high school kids.
It's not, but, sometimes you don't have time to overthink it. You get it, you see it, you know it, you do it. It's like pitchers who take a little bit too much time, shaking their catcher off, and they're indecisive. Sometimes let that coach make the decision. You just get out there and execute, and they certainly have been executing. The injured player was Jeremiah Acker, the running back, one of the two strong running backs on this team. We'll be seeing much more of J.C. Gawhat.
They tend to Acker on the sideline. He did walk off under his own power. Here's a third down and 8. Trojans from their 22. Back to throw is Blaine. He's hit from behind, and it's intercepted at the 19-yard line. Evan Klinger had him in the grasp, and then the ball went to Ryan Lawball, who picks it off, and Berwick in business once again. Mason Lawball, number 1.
Mason Lawball it was. The blitz came up the middle. The defense opened the seam for Evan Klinger to run through. When the quarterback was in the throwing motion, it's kind of like he was trying to decide not to get it out there deep where it could be intercepted. Tried to almost throw it into the ground, but defensive end, Mason Lawball, number 1, down low and scoops it up.
Berwick's got so much mileage out of their defensive backs rushing the passer. That time it was Evan Klinger. And the Bulldogs at the 19-yard line of the Trojans, leading 21-0, 2:45 still to go in this opening quarter. Marshman out of the gun, back to throw. Fires over the middle, has the completion down to the 1-yard line. There is a flag down the plate. Wilk made the catch, but this one may come back.
Thrown by the referee, who normally throws the holding call. For some reason, he's going to confer with the linesman, which makes me think that maybe it's not a holding call, because I don't know why the referee would throw it otherwise. We have too many players. We have an illegal shift. They saw movement, and that'll move them back 5 rather than the 10 of the hole, but it also negates a beautiful play. We have not seen an incomplete pass yet off of Jared Marshman. That would have made him 5 for 5, and that was probably the prettiest. Tegan Wilk on the right side, short post over the middle near the 3-yard stripe, about 20 yards down from the point of the throw. Jensen High and Tegan Wilk, wearing those sticky gloves, really came up with a nice catch.
Anyway, get a chance, check that defensive end. Was replaced Jeremiah Acker as the ball goes to Klinger, who almost dropped the football, but down about the 19-yard line. So A 5-yard pickup for Evan Klinger. He gets the penalty yardage back. 2nd and 10 coming for the Bulldogs.
Actually, Jeremiah Acker just came on back in. When he was down, he was holding at his shins. He might have taken a bit of a stinger in there, a bad bruise.
From the 18, it'll be a 2nd down and 9 for Berwick. Marshman back to throw, fires, has a completion to the 12-yard line as Joe Norse makes the catch, his 10th of the season, his first catch tonight. And 3rd down call coming. They're marking it at the 13, 3rd and about 4.
Tight end was flexed a little bit to the right and just did a slant in. They hit him about 3 yards, and he stuck ahead for another or so.
Trips to the left side, and Marshman is rolling that way and fires to the far side, has Beckhorn, gets by one tackler and another, and dives for the first down inside the 10-yard line. Keegan Wilk, on the reception, and Berwick with a 1st and goal. They've really got it going.
They really do. 6 of 6 passing for Marshman. They flooded the area out to the left where he rolled. He wanted to look deep, then he looked medium. Settled for Keegan Wilk, who was the shortest man in that route tree. Able to drive it right to him, and he'll spin and get a few more.
1st and goal from the 7. The call goes to Klinger. Big hole up the middle. He goes in untouched for a Berwick touchdown. Evan Klinger from 7 yards out. Flag flies. It's going to be 15, I think, on North Pocono for the kickoff. But with 1:10 to go in this quarter, Berwick builds the lead.
They've been strong. They've been strong. Everything clicking, running on all cylinders. If you'd have told me here before the first period ended it would be 27-0, awaiting the 28th point, I'd have thought you were crazy. So the penalties are going to wipe away, Jim. Apparently one pushed the other who pushed back. So there won't be any call now or on the kickoff as Berwick lines up to kick the PAT.
I saw the personal foul against North Pocono. Was one the other way as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, we'll find out on the kickoff. So Berwick turns 2 North Pocono turnovers into touchdowns in this opening quarter. And Marshman will try to stay perfect in extra points. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 1:10 to go opening quarter. Berwick 28, North Pocono nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
1:10 remaining in an opening quarter, dominated completely by the Bulldogs of Berwick. They lead North Pocono 28-0 as Ken Marshman will kick off. Had a touchback on his last kickoff. This one will come up short, very, very high, fielded by one of the upmen at the 16-yard line.
Ianni.
Joe Ianni gets to the 30 off the right side, where the Spartans will put it in play.
Bladen Cleaver down yet again. Seems he's involved in almost all the tackles in the specialty team play. Hard to believe he's just a freshman. Very physical, loves the contact. People don't get through his lane.
Referee Jay Rowan will indicate the penalty, illegal use of hands against North Pocono. So they will begin this possession deep in their own territory with 1:05 to go in this opening quarter. And Berwick completely dominating this one so far. It's back at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10.
Hard to say what to do now if you're North Pocono, Jim. It's a team that felt they could come in and compete with Berwick, and, normally they can start the game over, and you might have a different outcome. But now they're getting steamrolled after a few mistakes. You leave the original run-first game plan and feel that you have to throw. We'll see which way they go.
Line of scrimmage is actually the 13 as Gahan gets the call, and a nice carry by him off the right side. Picks up 7 to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they want to establish themselves, get some confidence back, prove that they can play with Berwick physically. So Gaughan from the eye, knifing off the right side with a little bit of an angle. A nice 7-yard run to start the series.
Coming to this game, Gaughan averaging just under 9 yards a carry on the season. But Berwick's been doing the job in this opening half. Now in I formation, Gaughan is out of there as Jeremiah Acker will be the tailback in the I, but the call goes to the fullback, Ianni, and he goes off the right side and picks up a couple to about the 22-yard line as Mason Lawbaugh checks in defensively for Berwick, replacing Joe Norse at defensive end position. Lawbaugh, that last series, picked off a pass that led to a Berwick touchdown. Chase Struthers will check in as well. It is a first down on the carry by the fullback to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, he's up tight, usually does the blocking, but that time they slid him the ball while attention was on the tailback, and he was able to knife on through and get the first down.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play in this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Berwick 28, North Pocono nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Being in business for over 100 years really means something. It means you've been putting out an excellent product and taking care of your customers so they want to come back. Daylo's Bakery, Berwick, falls into that special group of businesses. Oven fresh pizza, bread and rolls. Order extra pizza for a fast dinner when the party arrives. Open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit Daylo's Bakery at 1201 Fries Avenue, Berwick, or call 752-4519.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Right now in the first quarter, Loyalsock leads Danville 14-6. In the second, Southern Columbia leads Central Columbia 28-0. And Mount Carmel leads Line Mountain 21-0 in the first. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Electi from Crespin Field in Berwick. 1 quarter in the books in this District 2 Quad A semifinal at Berwick, leading by a score of 28-0. We start the second quarter. North Pocono in possession. They move from our left to our right. They have their initial first down of this game at the 23-yard line.
2 running plays, so they're not panicking with the big lead Berwick's posted so far. Going to go with their bread and butter, at least for now.
J.C. Gaughan, their leading rusher, is the tailback in the I formation. Fake to Gaughan, Blaine back to throw, fires it to Gaughan. He's got some room, the 25, the 30, and lowers the shoulder and gets the first down over the 35-yard line. They fake the run, throw it to Gaughan, and he does the rest. The Trojans try to get something going here early in the second.
Alex Parks eventually driving him out of bounds. Nice faking, semi-roll to the right, and then a screen back to the left to the man he faked to in Gaughan. Nice design to the play and executed very well.
14 yards on the reception by J.C. Gaughan. Gaughan gets the straight-ahead carry and gets a couple out to the 39, maybe the 40-yard line as Jimmy LeGrand and J.J. Snyder check in defensively for Berwick. Bulldogs use a lot of people up front. They keep those Chargers fresh. 3 yards on that carry. 2nd and 7, North Pocono at their 40.
Just trying to wedge it ahead behind senior captain Matt Caputo at center. Not a whole lot in there.
Acker is the running back to the right of Blaine, who awaits the shotgun snap. Donnie Blaine has it. He rolls right. Looks downfield. Throws it long and has a man wide open at the 20, the 15. Dan Walsh is in for a touchdown. Donnie Blaine to Dan Walsh. 60 yards for the score.
They needed one of those. They had been running the ball a little bit, but then came out and went to the pass. Decided to go big, and they really did fool things. Broken coverage by Berwick. No one in the deep third of the field to decide the quarterback was rolling. They gave him enough of the corner, confused the defensive end, who probably could have made a play, but he got spun around and didn't see where the quarterback was. And the receiver all by himself makes the catch and coasts in.
Blaine will now hold for an extra point attempt by Tyler Riley. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 11:07 to go, first half. Berwick 28, North Pocono 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing? Specializing in metal and rubber shingles, most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
North Pocono uses a big play to get on the board. A 60-yard touchdown bomb, Donnie Blaine to Dan Walsh. 6th touchdown reception of the season for Walsh. 12th touchdown for Donnie Blaine. It's a 28-7 Berwick lead. 11:07 to go in the first half.
North Pocono lining up for the kickoff. Will kick from the middle of the field. Berwick not extremely deep. The back three at the 10-yard line. Little wind advantage will favor North Pocono's kicker.
Tyler Riley is that kicker following his extra point. Again, Berwick with some really dangerous return men. As Riley approaches, his kick is an onside kick attempt that goes out of bounds on the Berwick sideline.
Eric Montez was the widest man up front, and he made a nice break for it. The ball was kicked hard, and he was not going to be able to get to it. But neither was North Pocono's end man able to get to it before its last bounce goes a little high and over his hand and into the Berwick bench. So not bad in the execution, but not able to finish the play. They take the risk, comes up close, but no cigar.
I like the play.
I like it too.
I like the play. You got back in it, Berwick hoping for a return, not looking for it, and you got a chance. And they haven't stopped Berwick's offense. And the Bulldogs now from their 46. Marshman out of the gun. Gives the ball to Evan Klinger. Klinger looking for some room, and there's nothing there.
No, not that time. Klinger is sort of a setback, and it looks like he's going to sweep from left to right. But by design, it's a counter where he shows sweep, plants, and goes right up over the center. It did not fool the interior of the North Pocono defense, who stuffed it up. 2nd and 9. Berwick at their 47. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, fires to the sideline, has Jared Watts. Makes his first catch just short of the first down yardage at the 45-yard line. Andy, has ever a quarterback on any level looked more relaxed than Jared Marshman? Any more relaxed to take a nap, grab a sandwich, eat it with the other hand while he throws the ball, and he's 7 for 7 passing.
He just looks so relaxed out there. 3rd and 1, Berwick at the 45-yard line of North Pocono. Klinger is the first down momentum. To 35, cuts it outside 30. Down the course, 20, 15, 10, 5, and heading for the pylon, and they'll rule him out at the 1-yard line.
Wow. He just knifed through the middle of the A-gap on the left side. By the time he got to the linebacker level, he broke hard to the left. North Pocono just didn't have a whole lot of chase to it. I thought 3 different people had the angles, but either stunning, surprising speed out of Evan Klinger, or they just weren't given good enough chase. Finally, one man with a dive brings him down before he gets hit.
And Berwick quickly to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal from the 1. Klinger the call. Klinger straight ahead. Klinger is stopped short.
Yep.
Get down and goal coming.
Get that number. Number 28 is J.C. Gahan. Plays with that intensity. Knife down to the inside from his right defensive end position. Caught the man as he was stacked up and bear hugged him and threw him back.
Now Marshman under center. Shoemaker is the running back. Shoemaker the call off the left side. Drags a tackler toward the end zone and into the end zone for a Berwick touchdown.
He has the intensity coming off the left. Tried the same place where Klinger went. Stacked up the same way. but he bent it out to the left just a little bit more with the push. Gave one spin, a man held on, but you could see that he got the ball swinging through the end zone before he was pulled back out. Linesman awards him the touchdown as he properly should.
Ken Marshman will attempt the extra point. The touchdown run by Shoemaker, his second of the night, set up by the 46-yard run by Evan Klinger. Marshman out of the hold of Klinger. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 9:28 to go first half. Berwick, 35. North Pocono, 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safe Light, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, SafeLight has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want SafeLight, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelight.com.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Owen Shoemaker with his second rushing touchdown of the game, his 8th of the season. Berwick extends their lead over North Pocono to 35-7. The Shoemaker touchdown set up on the long run by Evan Klinger. Now Ken Marshman will kick it away. High. And Acker will field it at the 7-yard line to the 10, to the 15. Takes to the far side. He's wrapped up short of the 20-yard line.
David Sharkuski stretched that out. 5 or a 6, Jim. Can you make it out? I always yell at them to stretch those jerseys out.
That would be Alex Sharkuski, who makes the stop. He's got to get some action tonight because it doesn't look like Berwick's going to punt. He's their punter.
No. He wants the letter. He'll have to do it here on the return on the coverage teams.
Berwick dominating here in the other semifinal. They're in the second quarter with Valley View at home leading Coughlin 12-7. Donnie Blaine under center. J.C. Gaughan is the lone running back behind him. From the 19-yard line, Gaughan gets the call. Looks for some running room, and he keeps those legs churning. A nice effort by him out to the 26-yard line. He's good.
He is good. Joe Lynn had him down around the knees, slid to the ankles, and then eventually kicked away from that. So instead of the no gain or even lost yardage, he makes it happen and stretches it well.
Second down and 3. At the 26-yard line are the Trojans. Berwick, the exception of one big play by North Pocono, has dominated this opening half. Joe Ianni gets the call up the left side. He is tripped up at the 30-yard line.
Boy, Tegan Wilk came up well. He looked like he'd be having a tough time to tackle him in open field, but he goes down low around the knees, hits with the shoulder pad, or chops that tree down. He'll get the first down, but Tegan Wilk stopped a long play.
5 yards on the carry by Joe Ianni, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Trojans of North Pocono at their own 31-yard line. Dan Walsh, who caught the touchdown passes in a slot to the right. Dale Moore outside of him. Gaughan is the lone running back. Rolling right is Blaine. He looks to throw, and now he's going to be sacked back at the 20-yard line. Eric Montez was the first one there, and then J.J. Snyder finished him off.
Great call on it, Jimmy. You're right. Montez eventually getting in, has 2 arms around the man who managed to spin away, but it's stalling him, forcing even more of a scramble. J.J. Snyder frees up, and it's even more of a loss on the sack.
Second down and 20 for the Trojans. Mason Lawbaugh comes out shaken up a bit. Jimmy LeGrand and Eric Montez are the defensive ends. J.J. Snyder and Ben Peck, the interior. I formation from the 20. The call goes to Gaughan, and J.C. Gaughan is met by 5 blue jerseys. He gets maybe a yard on the play.
Noah Craig, linebacker, met him in the hole. J.J. Snyder dove in and got him by the ankles. And then a real physical pop by Ryan Lawbaugh in there that I think some oohs and ahs might have felt it was a little bit too hard of a pop, but running backs up, there's no whistle. He's game. Go at him.
So it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Trojans. Gain of just about a yard on the play. 3rd and 19. Clock running, 6:45 to go in this first half. A half dominated by Berwick. They lead 35-7.
4 of 7 passing for Donnie Blaine. One has been intercepted. This is a passing situation if you've ever seen one. If you choose not to pass, if you go with even a screen or a delay, Berwick will run it down. Oh, boy, a stoppage here for North Pocono.
Well, that was interesting, Andy, because the quarterback came over to the referee and said, we're going to call a timeout right before the play clock ends. Why would you do that when you're down 35-7?
I do not understand, and I really don't even understand why the timeout. You're not going to convert. Well, you could convert on 3rd and 22 or whatever it is, but chances are you weren't going to. They used their other timeout down on the 1-yard line where they weren't going to prevent a Berwick touchdown. So I'm just not quite clear on clock management or the use of timeouts, but sometimes you just got to give that team a little pep talk, make sure that they're still playing, make sure everything's going right. But that was a strange one, especially watching to run time off the clock when you need to make up 3-4 touchdowns.
And I'm pretty sure I read that right. I mean, the quarterback, I couldn't understand why the quarterback, Donnie Blaine, was talking to the referee, and they were both looking up at the clock. And then after it wound down, he called the timeout. So North Pocono now with a 3rd down and 18 is the call at their 23-yard line.
Yeah, if it was under 2 minutes, there might make some sense out of it, but not with 6:26 left to go.
Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Blaine out of the gun. Joe Ianni is to his right. Ianni gets the call, tries the left side. Jimmy LeGrand has him from behind, gets some help as the running back will get to about the 26-yard line, pick up about 3, and a punting situation for the Trojans.
Yeah, the timeout certainly wasn't for play selections. You go to very simple type of straight-ahead play. So maybe just to try to get the troops rejuvenated a little bit.
Donnie Blaine will be back to do the punting. Robert Van Brunt, the sophomore, does the long snapping. Blaine standing back at the North Pocono 13-yard line. Tegan Wilk, Evan Klinger awaiting a bad snap. It's low, but it's fielded well. Low line drive kick. Wilk will field at the 42-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds on the Berwick sideline. Is making the play for North Pocono as Jacob Owens. So Berwick in good field position. Bulldogs have not punted this one. They've scored on every possession. They lead 35-7, 5:40 to go in the half.
Like to drive it in, put this into the mercy rule at halftime. It can't be reversed after you get to that point. Once you hit halftime with the 35-point lead. So Berwick wants to work this drive on down there.
19-7 now. Valley View leading at Coughlin. That's still in the second quarter. In the other district semifinal at Valley View. 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their 48. Marshman out of the gun. Gives the ball to Shoemaker. Lots of running room off the right side, over midfield to the 45, down to the 43-yard line of North Pocono.
Joey Annie tripping him up, a man in the secondary going for a little bit of a ride. 9 yards in all is a very fresh Owen Shoemaker. He's had 2 carries, both for touchdowns, and now this 9-yard pop.
2nd down and 1 from the Trojan 43-yard line. Marshman gives to Shoemaker. Shoemaker up the middle, has room 35, cuts it outside 30. Down that sideline, 15, 10, 5, and in for a Berwick touchdown. Owen Shoemaker, 43 yards for the score.
He explodes. He explodes. You give a little bit of a tired player a rest. The defense, though, still tired and fatigued. Can't keep up with the speed that Owen Shoemaker comes up with. Great acceleration into the hole, same type of play as the previous 9-yard run. This time he veers to the left, finds the hash, then finds it towards the sideline. An explosive touchdown.
Ken Marshman has been busy kicking extra points in this opening half.
This one for the mercy rule.
And again, when these teams played last year, Berwick did not score a single touchdown in the game. 2 field goals by Ken Marshman. Marshman's extra point is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 5:05 to go first half. Berwick 42, North Pocono 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
If you're planning a job or project that requires excavation, you need the experts at MDL Snow and Land, Inc. MDL Snow and Land does driveways, basements, septic systems, town hookups, and more. They will also haul sand, stone, crushed brick, and more in a variety of load sizes. And with winter just around the corner, MDL Snow and Land, Inc. provides prompt and efficient commercial snow removal from your business. For your next excavating, hauling, or commercial snow removal job, call the experts at MDL Snow and Land, 336-0289.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Berwick junior running back Owen Shoemaker with 3 rushing touchdowns on the game, 9 on the season. His latest a 43-yard run. Extends Berwick's lead to 42-7 with 5:05 to go in the first half of this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Kick by Marshman. High, and Acker will field at the 9-yard line. To the 10, to the 15. Jeremiah Acker to the 20. Gets to the 25 and is ridden back by 3 or 4 Bulldogs at about the 27-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh there, and there's a swing after the play, after a flag had blown to begin with.
Yeah, Alejandro Lopez came in and made the biggest part of the tackle. And as he unpiled, one of the blockers just gave him a forearm shot, a forearm shiver up high into the pads, even into the helmet. So that should be a 15 yards, if not an ejection. But a real nice tackle by Alejandro Lopez as the team pinned him in. He finished the runner off.
Andy, it's hard to make this judgment call because Berwick's had a terrific season. I think in the first half so far, this is as well as Berwick has played this season.
It is extremely impressive, Jim. Evan Klinger with 91 yards. Is he having the best game? Or do you say it's Owen Shoemaker with 4 carries and 3 of them being touchdowns and a 59-yard total? Or is it Jared Marshman throwing 7 for 7? Is it the kicker who's 6 for 6 on PATs and 1 touchback? You can go to defensive players. You can keep going. Everyone's playing at a high level. I heard Jared Marshman, actually I saw it in an article in the Citizen's Voice, about, they haven't peaked yet. They're getting there, they're working at it, but they haven't played their best. They're peaking now.
North Pocono from their own 12-yard line after the unsportsmanlike penalty against them. I formation, Joe Ianni is the fullback ahead of J.C. Gaughan in the I. The fullback, Ianni gets it, and a nice run by him over the 15 out to about the 17-yard line.
Tough runner. Evan Klinger met him about 2-3 yards into the run, but he was able to bounce away from that shoulder. Eventually, Tegan Wilk bringing him down another 4 yards further downfield. So good hard-nosed 6-7 yards on that.
2nd down and 4 for North Pocono. Clock running, 4.5 minutes remaining this opening half. Stay with us at halftime. We'll be talking basketball with Berwick High School girls coach Bill Phillips joining us at the break. 2nd down call. Gaughan is the lone running back behind Donnie Blaine. Gaughan gets the ball, and he draws the crowd, and then we brought down the 16-yard line.
It ended up that Ryan Lawbaugh hit him first but couldn't bring him down, but as soon as he kind of collided and then flew away, 3 other Berwick players converged right on him. That knocked him back for about 2 yards.
3rd down and 6 for North Pocono. Back at their 17-yard line. And again, if they do not score, that is North Pocono, before this half ends, we will have the mercy rule for that second half. Slot to the left. J.C. Gaughan is in the slot. He's a good receiver. Back to throw is Blaine. Big pass rush, and he will be sacked back at the 13-yard line. Ball popped loose, but the whistle had blown the play dead.
Ben Peck gets the most credit. He didn't really get as much penetration, but eventually in scrambling, the quarterback, Donnie Blaine, ran toward him. He stalled it while others then came and finished off the sack. So about a 3-4 yard loss.
So punting situation. And Berwick figures to get great field position as we go under 3 minutes to go in this half. Evan Klinger and Keegan Wilk back anticipating the punt by Blaine, who's standing right at the North Pocono goal line.
They've been having great returns against this unit, and with some of them coming in off the bench cold, and the potential for running one back for a touchdown.
Snap is a good one, and the kick is away. End over end. Klinger will field it at a hop at midfield to the 45, to the 40, down the sideline, and forced out of bounds. Again,
I don't know how they do it.
In a play where it looks like he just let that ball go, Evan Klinger comes in, makes a nice return.
It's kind of like they're running down the sideline, and then there's some optical illusion where the sideline gets wider and wider each time that they do go. Player down, Jim. It looks like it is Evan Klinger that they're tending to. They pulled him over to the Berwick bench, but he's in some obvious pain right now.
Be the only thing that's gone wrong for Berwick in this opening half, and that could be a lot wrong as they tend to him on the sideline. Berwick takes over at the 34-yard line of North Pocono. The give is to Shoemaker. Shoemaker off the left side will get to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6.
And nice hard running. But again, a lot of attention to Evan Klinger. He's now kind of rocking himself on that metal bench as the trainers are talking. I don't think they're even sure what's bothering him at this point.
2nd down and 6. Berwick at the North Pocono 30. We're under 2 minutes to go in the half. Berwick leads 42-7. Under center is Marshman. Gives to Shoemaker off the right side. Owen Shoemaker gets to about the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. Very close to a Berwick first down.
Running hard. The offensive line is winning the matchups up front. This is a big, strong defensive unit. Stingy unit, doesn't allow a whole lot of running on the inside. But Berwick coming out of their stances, exploding into the defenders, and pushing them off the ball.
3rd and 1 from the 25 with 1:24 to go in this opening half. Call goes to Shoemaker. Shoemaker has the first down, then some, breaks through a tackle, goes in for another Berwick touchdown. 25 yards.
Wow. How the heck does he do it? Dan Walsh was the last man who had squared up, got low, had him around the thighs, slid to the knees, and somehow Shoemaker kind of comes to a stop, pushes him all the way to the ground, high steps out of the tackle, re-accelerates, and finds the end zone. An exciting run.
Berwick builds the lead. An unbelievable point total up there for the Bulldogs right now. 48 pending the extra point. Marshman's kick is blocked. Only the 2nd time Berwick has not converted on an extra point this season. Timeout on the field. 1:14 to go first half. Berwick 48. North Pocono 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
There are 2 big stories for Berwick here in this first half. One is all positive. Bulldogs dominating North Pocono to the tune of 48-7. and one is very, very negative. An injury to Evan Klinger, who's going off now on crutches and not putting any weight, I believe, on that left ankle. So we'll have to check on that. He is such a big part of this Berwick team. You can't count the number of ways that he helps the Bulldogs. So hopefully that is not a serious injury. It's a low line drive kick by Marshman, field by an up man at the 18-yard line. The return to the 20 and a hit by J.J. Snyder as the return out to about the 32-yard line.
Boy, he came up and it was like, look out, buddy. He hit Ianni and just dropped him in that collision. He got up first, did a little strut, turned toward the fans, did a little peekaboo action with them. I'd have been considered a little celebration, but I don't think the officials saw it. Let it go. Excitement of the game.
North Pocono with it from their own 33-yard line. 1:09 to go in this first half. Berwick leading 48-7. As the Trojans with a slot to the left in an I formation, and J.C. Gaughan gets the call and finds the going tough. He gets to the 35, maybe the 36.
And Joey Lynn coming up very strongly to limit that to a 1-yard gain.
Ball at the 35-yard line. They call it 2. Second down and 8 for the Trojans. 47 seconds to go in the half. I tell you what, as cold as it is tonight, it's colder when you're down 48-7, and you've got a whole half left of the game.
Yeah, and you're sensing that bus ride home
from the 35-yard line. The give is to Jeremiah Acker. A nice effort by him over the 40 to the 41-yard line, short of the first down yardage. That may be the final play of this opening half.
Sharkuski was the man bringing him down. He's the one in there for Klinger now, and it was a nice tackle.
6 yards on the carry, and that will be the end of the opening half with Berwick leading North Pocono by a score of 48-7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
If you're considering any type of construction project, call Fenstermacher Construction at 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction specializes in new home construction, roofing, siding, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, additions, and garages. They have over 10 years experience in the home building industry, and they are licensed and insured. For quality and reliable service, call 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction, proud to sponsor the Berwick Bulldogs in the playoff series.
KFAB Incorporated, a fabricating and machining company in Berwick, has openings for the following full-time positions: welders, machinists, general maintenance, and laser operators. Positions are available on all 3 shifts with paid training and 50-cent shift differential. KFAB benefits include medical, dental, vision, paid vacation, as well as a 401k plan with company match. Apply online at kfabinc.com or in person at KFAB Inc., 1411 North Vine Street, Berwick.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
For 50 years, Bodner Sales and Service, 204 West Front Street, Berwick, has been providing superior office equipment to businesses and organizations throughout the area. They are proud of carrying the award-winning line of Konica Minolta office copiers and printers and have purchase, lease, and sales plans to fit any size budget. Regardless of your needs, Bodner's courteous staff will take care of you promptly and efficiently. Bodner Sales and Service has been family-owned since 1967 and would like to thank their loyal customers for 50 great years while also inviting new customers to find out just how good local service can be.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Give it to Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick. We're at halftime of this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Berwick rolling over North Pocono by a score of 48-7. Evan Klinger with a 1-yard touchdown run to get it started on the Bulldogs' first possession. Then Owen Shoemaker with a 6-yard touchdown run. It would be the first of 4 touchdown runs for him in the half. The second quarter, he had runs of 1, 43, and 25 yards. Jared Marshman's been terrific throwing the football, including a 29-yard touchdown pass to Damon Beckhorn. The only score for North Pocono coming early in the second quarter, a 60-yard touchdown bomb, Danny Blaine to Dan Walsh. But the Bulldogs leading it 48-7 in this semifinal. The other semifinal in the second, Valley View winning at home over Coughlin 19-7. Again, this game holds up. The Bulldogs will be home for the district final next Saturday. Well, it's football season. We're into the semifinals, but it's basketball weather. So we decided to talk to Berwick girls basketball coach Bill Phillips. Bill, coming off a terrific season for you and your team, making it to the district final to take on Nanticoke. Before we talk about this season, let's talk about last season. 17-10 overall. Had to be thrilled to play at Mohegan Sun in that final. I think that's one of the best things the Wyoming Valley Conference does.
Oh, it was an outstanding experience for our team and for our school. Our girls were ecstatic. We did have an exceptional season last year. And after playing in the arena, I mean, it was gravy after that, playing in the state playoff tournament.
And you won a state playoff game against Jersey Shore, and that was quite a finish, wasn't it?
Holy smokes, it was. It was very exciting. Our kids, they were poised, and you win close games like that in a state tournament game, and that says a lot about our leadership.
Well, let's talk about returning starters. Leading the way, Reese Mensinger, first-team Wyoming Valley Conference a year ago. She had some great games last season, including 34 points in a quarterfinal game against Valley View. What more, if anything, can you ask of her for her senior season?
It's going to be tough to top that, but she has really taken on a leadership role for us. She's a great scorer. Her defense has improved. She focused her entire summer and this fall on basketball. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of good players coming back, too, which is going to help her and not be good for other teams this year.
She's a great three-point shooter, isn't she?
Yes, and the thing that we love about her is that she has such a quick release. She withstood so much adversity last year, boxing one, double teams, and she still contributed offensively and helped set a lot.
You had a starter last year as a ninth grader, Abby Burt. When you have a starter as a ninth grader, that means you're either desperate or that ninth grader is exceptional. Which was it with Abby?
Well, Abby was special for us. She really came through. She took care of the ball, didn't turn the ball over that much, and she's short in stature, but she's pretty big in heart. She's a tough kid.
What's the next step for her? What does she need to get better at for this season?
She sacrifices her body a lot. Took a lot of charges for us last year. Came through big against Scranton Pep, hit 3 threes in a tough game for us, and actually sprung us into playing in that arena game.
And then underneath, some good size and a veteran returner, Ronnie Eisenberg.
Ronnie Eisenberg is a presence in there. I know Coach Clarko takes great pride in working with our post players, and we expect a lot out of her this year. With Ronnie Eisenberg and Reese Mensinger and Mallory Pintrich has also been. She was a senior. She's the one that made that pass for us at Wilkes University to get us into that second round of the state playoff. Their leadership has been outstanding. We have 2 other seniors, Maddie Lanning and Haley Owens. We're senior heavy, but we do have some young kids. We have a couple freshmen who played as 8th graders on our 9th grade team. Actually, our 9th grade team consisted of all 8th graders, and they won the championship. So we have a lot of leadership, but we also have a lot of young talent.
So a good season last year, and expectations to maybe equal that or go beyond.
Yeah, we have, we talked about young and old. We have some kids in the middle, too. We have 3 juniors that played varsity last year in Alexa Wall and Megan Dalo. Megan Dalo is a 6-foot kid that can jump out of the gym. And Sierra Meadner, we're expecting a lot out of those kids. And, we're going to have some depth. We have a couple freshmen, Rennie Murphy and Katie Starr, who are outstanding players and are going to be in the mix to potentially be starters.
We're at halftime of this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Berwick rolling over North Pocono 48-7. We're talking to Berwick girls basketball coach Bill Phillips, whose season right around the corner. It's certainly basketball weather tonight.
Yes, I really appreciate you having me up here because it's warm up here.
Yeah, it is. It is. I talked to Betty Culver earlier this week. I said, I assume that there's heat in the press box. He says, you will feel like you're in the Caribbean. That's all I wanted to hear. Okay, Bill, that's your team. How about the Wyoming Valley Conference? The usual suspects?
Usual suspects. You mentioned Nanticoke to start the interview, and they are always tough. Alan is a great coach. We're very good friends. I just spoke to him last night, and we're really looking forward to the season. Dallas is always tough. Holy Redeemer is always tough, and you look around the league. We lost 2 starters. Dallas lost 3 big guns. Nanticoke lost 3 big guns, and then we have to cross over in the Division I. And that's always tough playing, 6A Hazleton. Valley West is always tough. Pittston's always tough. It's a long season. You know that. You cover our games, and our kids are looking forward to it. It's an exciting time for us.
Well, besides your conference games, I love what you and Central Columbia have going for you. For people who aren't familiar with it, it's close to Christmas, girls, boys, doubleheader. Last year was at your place. Big crowd. I mean, it's perfect timing. People are home for the holidays, looking for something to do. And this year, it's going to be at Bloomsburg University, I believe, December 22nd.
Yes, it is.
That's a neat event, isn't it?
It is. It's a great venue. Our kids are excited. It's a doubleheader with our boys. We play at 6 o'clock, and the boys follow. This year, it's the night before, we actually have our first league game, so it's going to be interesting playing back-to-back. We don't usually do that, but our kids are excited about it.
Well, let's look at some dates now. Start of practice.
A week from today.
Week from
17th,
today.
yeah.
17th of November. Jason Kingery starts at 5 a.m. You don't do that?
No, I like to sleep in. No.
I don't blame you.
Our parents appreciate that, too.
And how about the season opener?
Season opener, we started an Nespoli tournament. We joined the Nespoli tournament a few years ago, so we actually play on the same night, December 8th, as the boys do. We're in the high school gym, a little nostalgia there, playing in the old high school gym. And we open up with Central Mountain, and in that tournament is also Hanover area and Wyoming Seminary.
Well, looking forward to it, Bill. We have you on, I believe, 3 times during the course of our broadcasting season. Your teams always play good basketball. Last year, a good year. This year, maybe even better. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I appreciate the coverage, too, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Bill Phillips, in his 14th season as the head coach of the girls basketball program at Berwick. Our guest at halftime, Berwick leading North Pocono through one half here. 48-7 is the count. We'll take a look at stats, some scores with Ben Willis. When we return, you're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
If you're looking for a good pre-owned car, you don't need to look any further. Trackside Auto Sales has a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with an available warranty. They can even help you arrange financing, and trade-ins are welcome. In fact, you might even find a few vintage vehicles. So if you're looking for a newer car or truck that'll give you miles of worry-free driving pleasure, head on over to Trackside Auto Sales by the tracks on Route 11 near the Mifflinville Bridge. Visit their website, tracksideautopa.com.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard this evening in the District 4 AAA final at halftime. Loyosac leads Danville 21-6. District 4 AA semifinals at halftime. Southern Columbia leads Central Columbia 38-7, and Mount Carmel leads Lime Mountain 35-6. In District 4 Quad A final halftime, Selinsgrove leads Chickalinny 14-0. District 4 Class A final at half, Wyalusing leads Montgomery 21-6. In the other District 2 Quad A semifinal tonight at half, Valley View leads Coughlin 26-7. The District 2 6A final tonight. Delaware Valley leads Hazelton 10-3 at the half. A final from last night in District 2 5A. It was Wyoming Valley West over Wallenpaupack 35-7. And in the third right now, a District 2 AAA final, Scranton Prep leads Lake Lehman 31-7. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Right here, Crespin Field is 48-7. Berwick leading North Pocono at halftime. Stats from that first half, Andy Lickney.
Berwick with a big advantage in total offense, Jim. 286 yards to North Pocono's 109. Look at the 109 of North Pocono and realize 60 of the 109 came on one play. Dale Moore able to get deep, find himself all alone in the deep third of the field, and scamper off for a 60-yard touchdown. So 60 of the 109. Otherwise, it would be just 49 yards for North Pocono. They have 32 yards on the ground, 77 in the air for their 109. On the ground, J.C. Gaughan has 9 carries for 29 yards. Came in with over 1,000 on the season, averaging 93.8 a game. Berwick's held Gaughan to 29 yards here at halftime. Jeremiah Acker, 3 for 14. Fullback Joe Ianni has 4 carries for 15. The team had a bad snap, lost 2 yards, and it ended up fumbling the ball away. And then Donnie Blaine suffering 2 sacks, minus 14 yards for him at quarterback. A net of 32 yards for North Pocono in the running game. Passing, Donnie Blaine is 5 of 8 with 1 interception. He was being hit by Evan Klinger as he was releasing. The ball went down toward the ground, and a beautiful interception by Mason Lawbaugh, playing defensive end in this game. 77 yards in the air on the 5 completions. Dale Moore, we mentioned his 60-yard catch, add a 2-yarder to that, 2 for 62. J.C. Gaughan, normally the tailback, had a couple of screens his way, 3 catches in all, a total of 15 net yards. Had them up at 77 yards on the 5 catches in 8 attempts. 32 on the ground, 27 plays in all for 109 yards for North Pocono. Berwick's forced a fumble and also enjoyed an interception that came their way. For Berwick, it's 286 yards on 31 plays. Quarterback Jared Marshman is 7 of 7 passing for 75 yards. The team in 24 rushes has 211 yards. Evan Klinger and Owen Shoemaker lead the way. They each have 91 yards rushing. Fortunately, watched Evan Klinger go off to the half house before the half ended on crutches, putting no weight on his, I believe it was the left ankle. But in the game, 12 carries, 91 yards, including a touchdown for Evan Klinger. Owen Shoemaker, his 91 yards, came more efficiently on 6 carries, and he's enjoyed 3 touchdown bursts here in the first half. Damon Beckhorn's had 2 carries for 14 yards, and quarterback Jared Marshman has run 4 times for 15 positive yards. In all for Berwick, 24 rushes, 211 halftime yards. In the air, I mentioned Jared Marshman's been perfect, 7 for 7. He would have been 8 for 8, but a penalty took 1 away. 75 yards in the air. Damon Beckhorn caught 3 of the passes for 43 yards, including a 29-yard touchdown reception. Tegan Wilk caught 1 for 8. Jared Watts has an 8-yard reception. Alex Parks, nice catch and run for an 11-yard gain. And Joe Norris, a 5-yard catch. In all, 7 of 7 passing, no interceptions, 75 yards for the Berwick Bulldogs, led by Jared Marshman's passing, and 211 yards in the air, a total of 286 yards compared to the 109 they've given up, and of that, 60 came on 1 play. Don't forget the strong kicking of Kenneth Marshman, although we saw a rarity. 1 was blocked. So his near perfection is even a little less perfect, although I guess we all have a flaw here and there.
Well, not much negative to the first half for Berwick, but if the injury to Evan Klinger is anything serious, that would be extremely negative.
He helps them in so many ways.
He is the MVP, and that's not even arguable. He's their leading tackler. He's their top punt returner. He's their top kick returner. He's their leading rusher. He holds on kicks. He's their backup punter. He's just the heart and soul of this team.
He is. And he's just such a mindset of the athlete. He's the guy that everyone looks to. There's a leadership that emanates from him by the way that he does sort of attack the football game. You hate to see someone leave on the crutches, but we saw Tom Monaco on crutches last week leave, and he's back starting offensively this week. So hopefully it's a twisted ankle or something like a minor sprain that he can bounce back and rejoin his teammates in uniform next week, or, hey, could be a week after that or a week after that. The way the Berwick's playing in this game, they could make a nice run.
Yes, it's still a half to play out here and a half to play out at Valley View, but it's starting to look like Berwick Valley View for the district final. You heard Ben give you that score, 26-7 is the Valley View lead over Coughlin at the half. Here it is 48-7. Berwick leading. Again, that district championship game, because Berwick is the number one seed, would again be here at Crispin Field next Friday night. And who knows, maybe we'll have a balmy 30 degrees that night. we'll have a heat wave. But the weather didn't seem to affect anything in the first half. I was concerned about the passing games because, quite frankly, since Jared Marshman returned, he's had a number of passes dropped in the games that he has played in, and not tonight.
No, not at all. 7 for 7, and we mentioned the other one that I think it was Tegan Will caught down the middle. It was a beautiful catch, probably the prettiest, but there was an illegal shift on that play that negated it. The cold weather might have the receivers focused a little bit more, a little more concentration on making that catch, realizing it's going to come on in. Jared Marshman throws a fastball. He can zip it. He looks like a sloth sometime as he's out there setting up. We mentioned how relaxed he seems. But, boy, he has that snap and the release, and the ball gets there quickly, but they've held on very well. And, as impressive as the passing game looked, the running game, I think, looks even more impressive considering the team and the personnel that they're seeing. They're shredding North Pocono.
Well, normally in these situations, the 48-7 lead, what the coach with the 48 does is gives his first-string offense and defense a couple of series before going to the bench. That's probably what Frank Sheptock will do. Evan Klinger normally in the middle of the three deep players as Berwick will receive the second half kickoff. Jared Watts is back in his place. Alex Parks and Tegan Wilk on either side. Berwick will move from our right to our left in the second half. As we are set to go, Tyler Riley will kick it off for the Trojans of North Pocono. 48-7 is the Berwick lead, ready for the second half of this District 2 Quad A semifinal. Riley's kick skitters along the turf, will be short-hopped by one of the upmen at the 21-yard line and be brought down at the 25-yard line.
Alejandro Lopez got it and was really spun to the ground hard. When he hit the ground, the ball popped up, and he's kind of getting up, holding his shoulder a little bit. Violent type of tackle. No fumble ruled because it was caused by the ground when he hit. But North Pocono there with a good pop on Alejandro Lopez.
1st and 10, Berwick. They move from our right to our left in this third period. They have it at their own 26-yard line. Tegan Wilk is wide to the left side. There's a slot to the right. Jared Marshman out of the gun. Owen Shoemaker, the running back. He gets the call, tries the middle of that North Pocono defense, and second effort will take him over the 30, out to about the 32-yard line. We wondered how, and here comes a flag well after the play. We wondered how Berwick's offensive line would hold up against this defensive front for North Pocono. It's pretty tough. They have really dominated play to this point.
They have, and then with the Shoemaker's run, driving, pushing people further. The run itself, that's 6 yards. We'll have to see what the penalty is after that. Big Dustin Moss, 6'2", 260 pounds, wrapped up finally and threw him down hard. second Berwick player we've seen go down hard in this half. North Pocono indicating the penalty is against Berwick.
The referee indicating as well, so it'll be a 15-yard walk-off against the Bulldogs.
Play will count, so it'll be second. And I'm trying to do the math in my head, but I'm not quick enough, Jimmy. We'll let you figure it out.
Ball will be back at the 17-yard line. Second down, 18 for the Bulldogs. So you give the yardage to Shoemaker on the run, the penalty after the play. As Marshman sends Tegan Wilk to the right side, slot to the left, slot back, Beckhorn in motion, but the call goes to Evan Shoemaker, and Shoemaker running over the 20 to the 22. He'll pick up about 5 on the play.
Another 260-pounder coming down the line on the tackle. One of their captains, Matt Caputo, meeting him near the line, but then kind of being carried along by the hard running of Shoemaker for a number of yards.
Third and 13 for the Bulldogs from their own 22-yard line. Marshman out of the gun. Shoemaker to his right. And Shoemaker will get the call, and it opens up for him. He's to the 30. He's to the 35. He's out to the 38-yard line for a first down. So Berwick makes up the penalty yardage. Great effort. Owen Shoemaker's having a big night.
Yeah, 115 yards now on the game, Jimmy. I'm not sure if that's his first 100-yard game, but that's one that you do celebrate. 3 touchdowns in the first half and 115 yards before they'll be spelling him.
4 touchdowns in that first half. 16 yards on that carry. First and 10, Berwick from the 38-yard line. Shoemaker again over the 45 to midfield and to the 47-yard line of North Pocono.
Another burst of about 15 as he's shredding things on the inside. Getting the offensive blocking, the linemen are really doing the job, clearing things out. He's not being touched by the front 4, not being touched by the linebackers. Secondary has to eventually pull him down.
14 yards on that carry. So 30 yards and back-to-back carries by Owen Shoemaker. Having a big night, as are the Bulldogs, who lead 48-7, 9:30 to go in the third.
They want to keep running, but he's got to be a little winded.
He gets it again. He is hit hard as he gets about a yard on the play. Dustin Moss, a 6'2", 260-pound sophomore, meets him in the hole. So second down call coming for the Bulldogs.
Jarrett Butler joining in from his linebacker position. He'll hold him to a little under 2 on that try up the middle.
Second and 8, Berwick at the North Pocono 46-yard line.
Frank Sheptock really doesn't want to pass, but he's limited with running backs. Doesn't really want to run Jared Marshman.
Marshman has the snap, gives the ball to Damon Beckhorn. Beckhorn straight arms the tackler, tries to get outside, and is ridden out of bounds across the way. Nice job of pursuit by the Trojans. He's out of bounds. That clock continues to run. Of course, we are in the mercy rule mode with that 48-7 Berwick lead.
Did all the coach thought of not wanting to run Shoemaker, not wanting to run Marshman. Evan Klinger not in. Forgot about Beckhorn. How the heck can you forget about the ability of Damon Beckhorn to run with the football?
Third down and 7, Berwick at the North Pocono 45-yard line. Slot to the left side. Marshman out of the pistol. Handles the ball to Shoemaker, and Owen Shoemaker close to the first down yardage. He gets to the 40 and inside the 40-yard line.
He might have had another step to push, but they started ripping the ball out of his hands. He went for ball security over forward momentum. And it's going to be fourth down and about half a yard for this.
Fourth down for Berwick. I'm sure they'll be going for it with the clock running and 7.5 minutes to go here in the third. Slot to the right, Tegan Wilk wide to the left. Marshman under center. Gives the ball to Shoemaker, has the first down, and then some. He gets to the 37-yard line, picks up a couple.
I was watching the offensive line drive their people. Tom Monaco really into his block, pushing people well downfield.
Joe Norris is going to check in for the Bulldogs. He looks to the sideline for the play call. Again, Berwick has played pretty much flawlessly on the offensive end with this up-tempo of theirs. Damon Beckhorn in a slot to the right side. Marshman under center from the 37. Shoemaker the call. Gets about a yard to the 36. A second down coming for the Bulldogs.
Hopping off the left side, Mike Zalou, Don Monaco there. Also, never forget about center Noah Craig, who does a tremendous job in blocking, exploding into their people.
Comparative scores for what they're worth, and a lot of times nothing. But I should point out that Valley View, the team that's likely to be here next week, had a real battle with North Pocono. Valley View winning that one 28-21 a couple weeks back.
From week to week, it is hard to say, Jim. Sometimes you come in, pump the play, you get stopped on a series, you have a turnover, all of a sudden it's 14-0, you spiral out of control.
Shoemaker gets the carry off the right side, picks up a yard to the 35-yard line. Third down call coming for the Bulldogs as they have not punted even once.
Haven't had
in this
to.
Football game.
And they haven't had to pass in this drive. This is a situation where you normally would pass. But will Frank Sheptock choose to pass with 48 points on the scoreboard? We'll see.
Beckhorn wide to the right. Justin Robbins is wide to the left. Here's the first pass of the second half for Marshman. He goes long downfield, incomplete. Intended for Jared Watts. Just a little bit beyond his reach. It's a fourth down coming for Berwick. 4th and 9 from the North Pocono 35.
Joey Burke had pretty nice coverage on him, so if you don't throw it that far, the coverage is in position to make an interception if you make a mistake. But Watts did have a step if it was placed perfectly.
4th down and 8, Berwick from the North Pocono 35-yard line. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, fires over the middle, incomplete. Damon Beckhorn, the closest one there. So North Pocono makes their first stop of this evening. They'll take over the football with 4:45 to go in the third, and Berwick leading this one 48-7.
They've struggled. We've seen it in the halftime stats. 77 yards passing, but 60 of the 77 came on the one play, a 60-yard touchdown. Just 32 yards in the running game. So they found the going tough against the Berwick defense.
This is a North Pocono team that has run the ball very, very effectively during the season. J.C. Gaughan is their leading rusher, and he gets the first carry of the second half, and he has some room off the left side, but it closes quickly.
Yes, it does.
Just so quick. Looked like a big hole for him. And then the Bulldogs come up. Mason Lawball, who's a ninth grader, getting a start tonight. Among the people in on the play.
Alexander Sharkuski, who's filling in now for Klinger, did a real nice job of coming up in the secondary once he saw that.
2nd down and 7 for North Pocono at their own 38-yard line as we go under 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Blaine back to throw. Fires, has his man Dale more and more tackled. Very close to the first down yardage. Ryan Lawbaugh makes the stop for the Bulldogs.
Lawbaugh thought he had him short of the chains, but he got just enough to move them. Lawbaugh's going to play deep. You don't want to get beaten deep with this type of a score. Let him catch it in front of you. If they can complete it, come up and make the tackle. Lawbaugh did that successfully. 8
yards on the reception to Dale Moore. 1st and 10, North Pocono at their 46-yard line. As Brett Butler, tight end on the left side. Slot to the right. Give to Acker. Acker is running room over midfield and forced out of bounds at the Berwick 46-yard line. Jeremiah Acker, who came into this game with good running stats on the season.
They pushed the defensive end down that time and got the soft corner, so Acker did come up well. 63 carries for 357 yards on the season. Berwick's held him to 14 until that game. Now he's up to 23 on 4 carries.
2nd down and 2. Joe Ianni is the fullback ahead of Acker in the I formation from the Berwick 46-yard line. Blaine gives to the fullback, Ianni, and he's got the first down as he gets to the 42-yard line. Noah Craig from his linebacker spot makes the play for the Bulldogs. They mark at the 41-yard line, so a pick up of 5 by the fullback, Ianni. 1st and 10 for North Pocono.
Quick little fullback trap. The decoy is the tailback. They end up pulling the right guard to the left side, double teaming down the other way, fullback. A little bit of a knifing action. Love that type of play.
J.C. Gaughan is the tailback in the I formation. Ianni ahead of him. Gaughan gets the call, looks for room. He's hit hard as he gets a yard or 2 on the play. And Blaine Cleaver, the 9th grader, with a solid hit on Gaughan.
I loved it. That was counter trade, Jim. They pulled both backside linemen and led them up the hole on the left. Somehow, Blaine Cleaver splits them and comes in and puts a hard hit on J.C. Gaughan. Takes on the blockers, refuses to be moved, and then still makes the hit. Great defensive play.
2nd down and 8. North Pocono at the Berwick 39-yard line. On a roll left is Blaine. Stops, fires long downfield into the end zone for a touchdown. Long into that corner for the score. 39 yards altogether as Dan Walsh makes his 2nd touchdown reception of the season. This one from 39 yards out.
Yeah, Berwick got caught. They weren't deep enough. And the safety or corner who was nearest realized with an oh no, tried to backpedal when he probably should have turned and run. Tried to push off from the back pedal and jump and just didn't have it. And it's sort of a basket catch facing the quarterback in the end zone for Joe Walsh.
Tyler Riley will attempt the extra point down to the hold of Blaine. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Tied on the field, 1:24 to go, 3rd quarter. Berwick 48, North Pocono 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 60 years of service, can handle all of your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete and lightweight block. They have front end discharge trucks for ready-mix concrete. Riverview Block also carries all masonry supplies, sand and gravel. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block 752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Johnny Blaine to Dan Walsh, 39 yards for the touchdown. North Pocono's on the board in this second half. Berwick leads at 48-14, 1:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now, following their first touchdown, they tried the onside kick. Berwick doesn't appear to be in position to really look for that.
And a lot of different personnel, Jim. I think a number of JVs are in there now. Younger players.
So we'll see if they try that onside kick again. As the kick skitters along the turf and is picked up at the 20-yard line by Jared Watts, and he is spun around at the 25-yard line down there.
Jacob Owens getting down there very quickly, wrapping around the waist and spinning him down. Nice defensive play by Owens.
So we'll see how the Bulldogs play it here with 1:18 to go in the 3rd. That big lead, and they have the ball at their own 27-yard line with a 1st and 10. And it is Blaine Cleaver, the 9th grader who we've talked about on defense, coming out to be the quarterback. Alejandro Lopez is the running back. So Frank Sheptalk has cleared the bench here in the 3rd quarter. As Cleaver has the snap, gives to Lopez, gets it outside to the 30, to the 35, runs hard over the 40 to the 41-yard line.
It is nice. He's been warmed up in this game a little bit, Jim. He was the player who was kind of punched at down to our left after he made a tackle on a kick. And then he took a real spin down hard to the ground, hurting his shoulder a little bit starting this half. So he wants to, do some punishing himself, and that run there was beautiful.
15 yards in the carry by Alejandro Lopez. First and 10, Berwick from their 42. Blaine Cleaver has the snap, gives to Lopez again. He tries the left side. He's got room again. He lowers the shoulder as he gets over the 45 out to about the 48-yard line.
Anthony Sisko was here on the near side as sort of a tight end, and he really gave some nice interference. Block got his hands extended, but not a grab, and that allowed Lopez to get wide on that counteraction. Quarter, Jim.
7 yards on that last carry by Alejandro Lopez. 3 in the books here at Crespin Field. Berwick 48, North Pocono 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Hogs Hollow Saloon is the place to get the area's most popular barbecue. All house smoked daily. Smoked pulled pork, ribs, beef brisket, jumbo wings, chicken, and more. Hogs Hollow Saloon is bringing entertainment back to the area 3 nights a week. National tribute bands, local bands, and Wednesday night open mics. Inside dining, outdoor dining on the deck, entertainment inside and out. Be sure to grab the area's original Orange Crush. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 between Berwick and Orangeville. Check them out on Facebook.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Right now in the fourth quarter, Southern Columbia leads Central Columbia 52-7. In District 4A final, Wyalusing leads Montgomery 28-6 in the third. Valley View leads Coughlin 26-7 in the third. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
3 quarters in the books here at Crespin Field. Berwick leading North Pocono 48-14 as Blaine Cleaver from the quarterback spot takes the direct snap and keeps the football and gets about a yard to midfield for the Bulldogs. We're moving from our left to our right in the final period. They've dominated from the start. The absolute only negative, and it's a big negative depending on the circumstances, the injury to Evan Klinger, who's out in civvies to start this second half. He is on crutches.
Came out a little bit late. They probably showered him, got him dressed. I thought maybe they would have taken him to a hospital for an X-ray, but perhaps they don't feel it's necessary.
That may be a good sign.
Yeah.
Third down for Berwick. Lopez to call. Alejandro Lopez has the first down as he gets to the North Pocono 47-yard line.
Some shifty running. He made a number of people miss. Real quick moves. Last man drove by him, and enough to get the chains. Third carry, 26 yards.
A minute into this fourth quarter, Berwick gaining a measure of revenge after losing to North Pocono 21-6 in the district final a year ago. The Bulldogs leading this one 48-14.
Checking the lineman, Jake Lanning is in there, along with a number not on our roster.
Slot to the right side. Wide receiver left. The call goes to Lopez. Breaks out of a tackle at the 45. Turns the corner at the 40. Gets to the 38-yard line.
He runs hard. Again, Sisko helping him get the corner. And then Lopez doing the strong running just short of the chains. A 9-yard gain. Give him 35 yards now on his 4 carries.
Frank Sheptock looking up at the play clock before each play. Wants to use as much time as possible between each play.
Tackles out there now are Trent Struther and Mitchell Rydell. Try to catch the guards.
Second down and 1. Berwick from the North Pocono 38. Lopez gets the carry, and he is gang tackled. He'll lose a couple. Back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah. Penetrated on through to catch him. Rounding out that line, Jim Schuyler Buckman is at the left guard. And a fellow we've seen throughout the year, Sullivan Slabinski, at the right guard.
Third down and 4, Berwick at the North Pocono 41-yard line. Ninth grade quarterback Blaine Cleaver looks to the sideline as Frank Sheptock keeps an eye on that play clock. It's under 10. They hand off to Lopez. Lopez has the first down and then some to the 35 and drop back hard to get to about the 34-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in prime time next season.
He has a natural move when things are pent up to just bump it out a hole or two to the outside. I think when you start seeing the varsity defenses, though, you start where you're not getting that soft corner as easily. But right now, against North Pocono's people, it's working rather effectively.
Alejandro Lopez listed at 5'8", 178 pounds as sophomore, as Berwick has a first down at the North Pocono 34-yard line. Cleaver fakes the handoff, keeps the football himself, and is brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
He likes contact, Jim. He has the linebacker mindset, even when they have him playing quarterback. Gets that ball, happy that the coach called his number. Doesn't mind that it's stuffed where he wants to run. He'll just drop his shoulder and try to push people.
Second down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 34-yard line of North Pocono. Clock running, 7:45. We get an update from that Valley View Coughlin game. We'll pass it along as Cleaver gives to Lopez. He started out left, then cuts it right, and picks up a couple to the 32-yard line.
It was designed to fake to the left, that sweeping action we've seen Evan Klinger run, and then plant and counter up the middle. So he ran where the play was designed, found one little seam in there, got through it, but then the linebacker stopped. So not always bouncing everything to the outside. Good to see him run the designated hole if the designated hole opens.
Clock running with 7:05 remaining in this game. Berwick leading North Pocono 48-14 in the Bulldogs from the 32-yard line of the Trojans. Lopez gets the call, and he's brought down right about the line of scrimmage.
Chase Hinton, 295-pounder, who started the game, is still in there at defensive tackle. He's going to have his way with Berwick's backup lineman. That time he shoved a few out of the way to make the hit.
Fourth down for Berwick. 4th and 10. The North Pocono 34-yard line.
And I'm trying to see Blaine Cleaver's passing numbers, but it's the first time all year I didn't write them down, Jim, figuring there's no way he's going to see action in this game.
Well, I don't believe he has any passing numbers as he gives to Lopez, and he is wrapped up for a loss on the play, and North Pocono will take over the football with 6:08 remaining. Berwick with their subs in, 33-7 now. Valley View over Coughlin in the third, so I think it's safe to start talking about Valley View and their appearance here next week. Last week they beat Crestwood 51-0 in the quarterfinals. They gave up 7 total yards in that game to the Comets of Crestwood. Since a 35-34 loss to Scranton Prep, a Prep team that's unbeaten, by the way, 6 weeks ago, they've been averaging 39 points a game. They have 33 in the third quarter tonight. They're going to go 9-3 coming into this game. They have a terrific running back in Seth Vernon with all kinds of numbers. Quarterback Chandler Fuller has completed 50% of his passes, but they like to run the football, as that's exactly what North Pocono does. With some subs in, the carry goes to number 44, Gabe Reibel, and Reibel will get to the 42-yard line. He'll pick up 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6.
Only 4 carries on the year for 26 yards. Add that 4, nice little pop.
By the way, the losses by Valley View in the season: 1 point to Scranton Prep, 7 points to Scranton, and 4 points to Delaware Valley.
Wow.
That's quite a resume.
Very impressive.
It is. If you can be impressive with losses, those would be the ones. There's a fumble on the exchange. There is a flag down as well.
I think Berwick came up with it, and I don't know if it was blown dead. Number 58 for Berwick coming up with that, Austin DeWald. They're going to call movement. I think what happened is people moved. The center didn't snap it. When he finally did, the quarterback didn't expect it and went to the ground. And the officials deciding that's a pretty good call at this point.
I mentioned Seth Vernon, the running back for Valley View, coming into tonight's game, 22 touchdowns, 1,223 yards. This is going to be a very, very tough test for the Bulldogs next week, but it will be in a district final the call off the left side, a gain of just a couple. 6th consecutive year Berwick will be in that final. The last one under George Curry back in 2013. They lost in the final last year to this North Pocono team, but have bounced back, have had a terrific season, and will take a 10-2 record into that district final.
Play like they've played tonight. They can go away with the district title despite great competition.
On the 38-yard line, 3rd down call coming. Call off the right side, the gain out to the 46-yard line.
Should have been ruled a fumble, and it was recovered by Malik McMillan. But the officials just kind of letting it play on out. They're going to give a nice gain out there to number 1, Jacob Owens. Seen him play some nice coverage on kickoffs. They're a nice burst up the middle.
I really admire the fans that have stayed here and are complaining about that call.
That's true football fans. And purists, because it probably was a fumble. But, you know, if I'm into striped shirts, I think you just kind of let it go and let it play out.
I formation. Call off the right side. Jacob Owens on a nice run for North Pocono. Gets over midfield. Gets to the Berwick 46-yard line as the clock runs with 3:14 to go in this one.
Peyton Williams took a stiff arm to the helmet, but then grabbed onto the arm to be able to eventually bring Owens down.
1st and 10. North Pocono at the Berwick 46-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Mentioned Berwick going to make it to the final at 10-2. North Pocono's season will end with a 7-5 record. Again, coming back strong after winning the championship a year ago, making it to the finals, the semifinals, as Owens got the call. Boy, nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage at the 48.
Dallas Schechterly, playing linebacker, saw the lane open, shot through that lane, and met him in the backfield. That's great linebacker play.
2nd down and 11. North Pocono at the Berwick 47-yard line.
Oh, I like seeing good football plays like that. Have Schechterly in there aside of Blaine Cleaver. How's that for the future of your hittings?
I think they put Donnie Blaine back in there at the quarterback controls.
I think so.
And he gives off to Owens. Owens off the right side will get to about the 41-yard line of the Bulldogs with 1:50 remaining in the game.
They had a little trouble with that one snap and people kind of jumping off sides where a flag prevented a turnover. And they might have felt that Donnie Blaine's ball handling should be able to let them just have a smooth drive and take this one to its conclusion.
Blaine probably saying, Coach, I'm cold just standing over here. Let me do something.
Put me in, Coach.
From the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 4 in Berwick territory. I formation behind Blaine. Gives it off the left side of Rival. Boy, he's brought down. It's a nice tackle.
Yeah. Antonio Barada, one of my favorite players on this team. Normally they work him a little bit deeper in the secondary, but they're up front making a tackle right at the hole to set up a 4th down play.
3 yards to go for the 1st down at the Berwick 39-yard line as we are under a minute remaining in the game. Stay with us. Following the game, Andy will have all the numbers for you, and they're impressive, most of them from the first half. And Ben Willis will bring us updated on the playoff football scoreboard. Here it is, 4th and 3. A toss sweep to the left side, and Berwick's all over it. And Rival will not get to the 1st down yardage. And the Bulldogs will take over with 34.4 seconds to play.
Barada met the lead blocker in the backfield, forced him into the C gap, and Berwick had about 3 people in there. So 4th down, not converted. Berwick's offense will take over and expect to see a pile of runs in here, Jim.
Well, one anyhow.
Yeah.
With 34.4 seconds to go.
I'm going to leave it to you then, and I'm going to start tallying.
So that clock will start to run. Bulldogs for the 6th consecutive year into a district final. Next week it'll be right here at Crispin Field. In all likelihood against the Cougars of Valley View, who are leading Coughlin 33-7 in the third quarter of that one. That is the final step. Bulldogs will celebrate perhaps their best performance of the season, winning convincingly here tonight. The final, Berwick 48, North Pocono 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They're more than a bank. They're your neighbors. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Berlin's Greenhouses expresses their sincere thanks to all of their loyal customers for their patronage during the fall season and throughout the year. They look forward to serving you again next spring. Gift certificates make great gift ideas for the coming holidays, and you can purchase them from Berlin's Greenhouses, as well as wreaths and grave blankets. They will be available during the week and by appointment by calling 752-4255. Berlin's Greenhouses, 6081 Park Road in Berwick. Wish the Berwick Bulldogs well during the playoffs.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard tonight, District 4 AAA final score, Loyalsock over Danville, 35-6. District 4 Class AA semifinals, a final score, Southern Columbia over Central Columbia, 59-14. In the fourth, Mount Carmel leads Lime Mountain, 42-6. In this District 4 Quad A final in the fourth quarter, Selinsgrove leads Chickalimmy 34-0. District 4 Class A final, Wyalusing leads Montgomery 28-6 in the third. In the other District 2 Quad A semifinals tonight, in the fourth, Valley View leads Coughlin 33-7. District 2 6A final, Delaware Valley leads Hazleton 31-3 in the fourth. District 2 AAA final in the fourth quarter, Scranton Prep leads Lake Lehman 54-7, and District 2 5A final from Thursday night, Wyoming Valley West over Wallenpaw Pack 35-7. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazleton, 103.5.
Bulldogs of Berwick gathered around head coach Frank Sheptock. Down below us to our right, Bulldogs putting on an impressive show tonight, rolling over North Pocono in this district semifinal 48-14. Berwick scored in their first possession of the game, a 9-play, 58-yard drive. Evan Klinger in from 1 yard out, his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Ken Marshman with the extra point. Berwick with the early 7-0 lead. Later in that first quarter, Eric Montez recovering a fumble at the North Pocono 18-yard line. And 5 plays later, Owen Shoemaker going in from 6 yards out for the score. Marshman with the extra point, 14-0 Berwick. Later in the first, 3-play, 42-yard drive capped on a 29-yard touchdown pass. Jared Marshman to Damon Beckhorn. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 21-0 was the Berwick lead. As Marshman's touchdown interception ratio after that one, 13-1. Bulldogs kept it going. Mason Lawbaugh, 9th grader who started at defensive end, intercepted a pass after Evan Klinger had the quarterback Donnie Blaine in the grasp. That came at the 19-yard line of North Pocono. 4 plays later, Evan Klinger in from the 7-yard line for his 9th rushing touchdown of the season, his 2nd of the game. Ken Marshman with the extra point. Berwick led after 1 quarter, 28-0. North Pocono got on the board early in the second quarter. A long bomb as Donnie Blaine rolled right and hit Danny Walsh for a 60-yard touchdown. Tyler Riley with the extra point. 28-7 was the Berwick lead, but the Bulldogs came right back. 4 plays, 54 yards. Owen Shoemaker in from 1 yard out. That touchdown set up by a 46-yard run by Evan Klinger. Marshman with the extra point. Ken Marshman, 35-7 was the Berwick advantage. Bulldogs were not done yet. 5:05 to go. 2 plays, 57 yards, 43-yard touchdown run by Owen Shoemaker. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 42-7 Bulldogs. Then Shoemaker, a 25-yard run with just 1:14 to go in the half. The kick for the extra point was blocked, but Berwick went in at the break with a 48-7 lead. Bulldogs kept the starters in for just a bit of that third quarter. North Pocono did get a touchdown, a 39-yard touchdown pass. Again, Donnie Blaine to Dan Walsh. That made it 48-14 after Tyler Riley's extra point, but there was no further scoring in that second half with the subs in for both sides, and Berwick wins impressively. The final, Berwick 48 and North Pocono 14. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Total offense, 382 for Berwick, 203 for North Pocono. I got a little sloppy in the fourth quarter, Jim, so people can check their newspapers, but I have Berwick limiting North Pocono to 79 yards rushing, giving up 124 in passing. 2 big touchdown passes, a 60-yarder to Dale Moore, 39-yarder to Dan Walsh. I had those up, and that's taking most of that total offense of the 203 yards. Passing in all, Donnie Blaine was 7 of 10, 1 intercepted, under pressure, throws it toward the ground, but ends up where Mason Lawbon able to pick that ball before it hits the ground. So 1 interception, 124 yards. His receivers, Dale Moore, 3 for 70 on the night. Dan Walsh, the 1 touchdown reception, a 39-yarder. And J.C. Gaughan, mostly on screen passes out of the backfield, 3 catches for 15. 124 in the air on 7 of 10 passing with 1 interception. For North Pocono in the running game, 30 rushes in all, just 79 yards. J.C. Gaughan, 12 carries for 29 yards. Jeremiah Acker, 4 carries for 23. Joe Ianni, 5 for 20. And Berwick knew they were going to have to stop this team's running game, and they most certainly did. Add those guys up, and it's barely 70 yards on all of their carries, and that's the main running group. Jacob Owens here in the fourth quarter, 4 carries for 19. Gabe Kreibel, 4 yards on a carry. The team on a bad snap loses 2 that's fumbled away. And Donnie Blaine sacked twice in the first half, 2 carries minus 14. A net of 79 yards on the ground, 124 in the air. And Berwick's defense throws up a beauty, giving up 203 yards here, but a lot of it on 2 long pass plays, some breakdowns in there. For Berwick, just amazing numbers. 307 yards rushing, 75 yards, all in the first half passing, total of 382 yards. Marshman in the first half was 7 for 7 passing for the 75 yards. 2 passing attempts went incomplete in the second half. So the same receivers that we had in the first half, Damon Beckhorn, 3 for 43, including a 29-yard touchdown. Tegan Will caught an 8-yard pass. Jared Watts caught an 8-yard pass. Alex Parks, nice catch and run for 11. And Joe Norris, a 5-yard pass. Marshman, again, finishing 7 of 9, no interceptions, 75 yards. In the running game, Evan Klinger, all in the first half, 12 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. However, toward the end of the half, a twisted ankle had him on crutches and in civvies in the second half of the game, and the one concern for Berwick going into next week. Owen Shoemaker had carries before that. In fact, I believe he had 3 touchdowns prior to that happening, but only about 59 yards. He ends up finishing the game, 15 carries, 145 yards for Owen Shoemaker. Damon Beckhorn, 3 carries for 16. Alejandro Lopez, 7 carries for 44. I'm looking at the team losing a yard on the kneel down at the end. Blaine Cleaver, a couple of runs, minus 3 yards in all. And quarterback Jared Marshman, the runs by design, not sacked in the game, 4 carries for 15 yards. Add them all up, 307 on the ground, 75 in the air, 382. Add in the excellence of kicker Ken Marshman, excellent defensive play, just an excellent performance overall, Jim. A team that is peaking when it needs to peak, because it's going to see great competition next week.
It will, as we're going to assume a win for Valley View. They had the big lead in the fourth quarter, 33-7 over Coughlin. So So that'll be a good matchup here next week for the Bulldogs here at Crispin Field. For North Pocono, their season comes to an end. They finish with a 7-5 record. Berwick will take a 10-2 record into that game against Valley View next Friday here at Crispin Field. 7 o'clock kickoff. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. As usual, it will start at 6 o'clock with the Coach Shepdock Show. At final again tonight, Berwick 48, North Pocono 14. For Andy Lickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Classic Rock 103.5.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs Football Playoffs on Classic Rock 103.5. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 in Berwick. See you after the game. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Dalo's Bakery, Freese Avenue in Berwick. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, a dream getaway for your dog. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Metrocast Cablevision, cutting-edge entertainment for the whole family to enjoy. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. The Mayo Funeral Home of Berwick and Shikshini. The law offices of Lutz and Petty, protecting you. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, Northeast PA's #1 dealership. Safe Light Auto Glass, Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace. Berlin's Greenhouses in Berwick, open by appointment for Christmas gift certificates, wreaths, and grave blankets. MDL Snow and Land, expert excavating, hauling, and commercial snow removal. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Berwick, professional service, professional guidance. Bodner Sales and Service in Berwick, your Konica Minolta copy machine dealer since 1967.